What do you make of this rebound in crypto? Is there a reason for it? Like, what's the story?
So I think the crypto markets is just very cyclic. I've been in it for more than 5 years, and this is like the third or fourth time it has basically done the same thing, but at a different scale, right? So it goes up to its all-time high, crashes down, takes a longer time to kind of like bounce back. And if you've been in crypto long enough, you were pretty much expecting it.
But what about those who are talked of being lured into crypto? Because this time it's different. This time it's institutional players that are backing it. This time it's Fidelity saying that they're going to be opening some sort of means of trading and also a safe place to be able to store your money and your cash. Is it changing, and is it getting more institutional?
I think there is progress on the protocol side. There are lots of like high quality engineers and developers who are now building in the space that weren't, let's say, 2 years ago. And the other reasons of like institutional investors moving in, I'm always personally a little bit skeptical of that. I think in general, this technology is so new, no one really knows like what really is happening. What we do know is that the market itself is maturing, and there are some more sophisticated players that are entering the market. I don't think it has anything to do with really institutional players moving in.
When we talk about sort of what we're seeing with Facebook, I know what they're doing isn't quite a cryptocurrency, depending on who you ask. But does that sort of at least open up, I guess, the door to, I guess, a more individual, I guess, type of sort of network, something that's a little bit different than what we're having with these various blockchains, but something where people have more control over their individual assets?
Absolutely. I think there are a couple of angles to what Facebook has done. First of all, I think the analogy there would be that what they're building is something like AOL, not really like AOL, because AOL was a single company that was trying to build similar things to the open internet. What Facebook has done is that they have a bunch of other companies in it, right? So it's almost like a federation, but it looks more like AOL than the open internet. And in terms of the positive effects it can have on crypto, is that it could be the on-ramp through which people discover what crypto looks like. Mm-hmm.
So your company, Blockstack, has a very different, more decentralized vision. Explain it. It's a platform. Is there a coin? Is there a currency involved?
Yeah, so for most of these blockchain projects, you actually do need a token for security and for doing different operations on the network. What we are doing is that we are effectively building Web 3.0. Right. So what happened with Web 2.0 is that it became a lot more interactive, and people were putting their data with companies like Google or Facebook. Right. And now we have started seeing the negative effects of that. So this is a fundamentally new architecture where the data remains in the control of users, and users are basically using these applications without any central big company.
I sort of feel that a lot of crypto players, or certainly apps, decentralized apps, are saying that they're building Web 3.0 in some way. You, Dfinity, there are other players about. Why are you different, and what actually are the apps that you're seeing built being used for other than speculation?
So I think I would like to think that we are a lot more further along than some of these projects, which are pre-product. They haven't launched yet. We are in the developer traction phase after doing R&D for around 4 years. And just to give you an idea of apps, our apps there are now more than 140 startups or applications that are built on top of what we are doing. Right. So I think
doing what?
So all sorts of things, right? So it's basically alternatives to social networks like Facebook, or professional networking sites like LinkedIn or Instagram or 1Password. So you're seeing the Web 3.0 versions of these things, along with some new use cases with smart contracts. So
with all these different decentralized app platforms, and obviously Ethereum is the most well-known, and there's EOS and a bunch of others, there's a lot of projects that seem to be getting done on top of them, and you never really hear about people actually using them or making them part of their day-to-day life. Are there any applications upon being built on Blockstack that you would say have traction in terms of really growing their user base outside of token trading?
Yeah, I would encourage people to check out this app called Graphite. It's a decentralized alternative to Google Docs. Okay. And I think the app usage on it is roughly doubling month over month. There are also some new things, like there's an app called Dmail. It's a very different type of email. It actually doesn't use the email protocol. It's like fully decentralized, more secure. And we are seeing a bunch of usage there with people who are very concerned about security and privacy, that they would rather use that for communication.